Hello and welcome to another analyzed match of Age of Empires 4. I am Paragon RG, and in this particular match, I have been asked to take a look at the player Polifen. So, Polifen likes to play as the Abbasid dynasty, and this match is actually on the Danube River playing against the Mongols. So we'll see how Polifen does. Generally, the Mongols are favored on this map. That being said, that analysis is usually for top level play, right? So the Mongols tend to be really good on hybrid maps. As we'll see Polifen explore, you'll see the that U-shaped river that the Danube always has. So basically, our goal here is to just keep an eye on... We want to see if there's any glaring errors, anything that could have gone a lot better for Polifen in this match, and then hopefully grab a tip or two for general play as well. Okay, so as the Abbasid, looks like no House of Wisdom just yet. That is okay. I don't see any problems there. Quite a few on wood, which makes sense with that early dock. So I like the early dock play. Abbasids get that half-price dock. That makes a lot of sense to me. Fishing ships have started building. So this all looks pretty good so far. Pardon me. The scout, wandering oot and a boot here. Is there some stealth forest? Oh, okay. It's just I guess, yeah, not seeing through the forest makes the minimap scouting look a bit odd. But bringing back some sheep now. So, you know, just as a note, you don't really... If you already have 3 sheep here, you may not need to do this. That being said, if your next plan is to run straight through the middle or around to find your enemy, it is a good idea to get as many sheep as you can. Also, in this case, you're not on berries because you're on fishing ships. That being said, how many villagers? Okay, only 2 villagers here. That looks pretty good to me. 9 on wood, so looking pretty good to me. I'm actually going to close this here so we can see our resources in the bottom left as needed. Scout getting toward your opponent now. Resources are still looking pretty balanced so far. Looks like you found their dock, their ovo. Nice spot for sure. Definitely a must scout. We'll pop back over to the scout in just a minute when I see more red dots on the minimap. Gold mine going down. Looks good to me. Dock is currently idle. Keep an eye on that for a little longer. You found his TC. Looks like your scout does get out alive just barely. Okay, you do queue up some fishing ships. So really common thing I see, I mean, from a lot of players, if you're going to build a dock, you need to be very active in making fishing ships. You choose when to stop making them, and you make fishing ships up until that point. So any idle time there, maybe it doesn't feel that bad, but you should treat it a little bit like forgetting to build a villager. It is actually a pretty big deal. Okay, so Scout coming home will be healing a little bit. That's nice. Yeah, and you're much more active in queuing up fishing ships now. That is good. 140 gold. This is looking pretty good. I think I'm actually going to speed up the game a little bit here. Basically, you know, until you click up to Feudal. Keep an eye on your resources until then. Looks like you're going to have more gold than you need, is my guess, given the current balance of resources. You may also have more wood than you need, so there's potential, unless you're about to drop, like, barracks or something like that, archery range. Okay, so you're up now, or rather you can click up, 455, 290 gold in the bank. I think you've overqueued villagers, actually. So something to keep an eye out is you could have potentially clicked up a bunch earlier if you didn't overqueue villagers. That's a mistake going all the way back to Age of Empires 2. Very easy to let that go. Now, okay, how many fishing ships? 8 here. We'll see if you're stopping. And you say this was a pretty bad... To be honest, if you get pop capped and it's bad, grab a couple villagers and just finish that house. I would rather lose the, 20 seconds of mining time than not be building a villager and potentially a fishing ship for that period. So your dock's been idle for a while, but again, that's okay if you're not planning on making more fishing ships. So you're clicked up here. Let's take a look. Going up with the economic wing. Quite meta. Quite meta. It is all good. Villager coming down. Is this the tower on the other side? It is. Did I miss something? Did you lose a villager? Or did he have to run? Okay. So this being already partially built, obviously I missed something. That is my mistake. And trying to build a dock on the other side as well. That's interesting. I'm wondering, is there any reason... I'm curious what you have in mind with this. It's normal to build the tower on the other side to prevent them from adding a tower over here. But this just seems like it's more raidable. I would rather build a second dock somewhere like where there's more fish, or just at least on the same side. Okay, so bumping it. Look at the sheep haul this guy's got. He's just murdering deer currently. What are you at for fishing ships now? 9? Are you back to making fishing ships? You made at least one more. Okay, so I'm assuming at this point, looking at your resources, you're going for a fast castle. Could be wrong on that. If you're not, though, this is an awful lot of resources in the bank. So I'm going to speed up a little more again. The next dock... So I'm worried about this dock. Like, there's a second dock coming up, but this one hasn't really been very active for quite a long time now. You've built one fishing ship, I think, in the last, like, 3 minutes? 2 minutes? And now there's another dock up. I'm guessing, then, this is supposed to be for aggression in the Feudal Age. Does your opponent have 8 fishing ships here? Slow back down. Khan being annoying, but he's too close to your TC. You can even consider popping... There you go, yeah. Just try to kill him, but doesn't look like we'll quite be able to do that. Okay, so let's see what the docks are up to now. Again, docks are idle. Docks have been idle for some time. It makes me wonder what the plan is here. Why you need that second dock. I guess it is only 75 wood, right? Not the absolute end of the world. This villager is currently using it as a drop-off point. I don't think that's a strong enough case for one. You're getting... I'll speed back up. You're getting pretty close to Castle Age now. Some spearmen out here. Fair enough. I'm wondering what you saw that made you build spearmen. So spearmen and an archer heading out on the map. Let's slow back down. Okay, so I should have made note of the time. If you remember, it was at least a minute ago that you had 1,200 food and something like 300 gold. So I would hope that either you would have done what you're doing now earlier, or you would have clicked up to Castlewine. I think one or the other is better. You could potentially have a much faster Castle Age time just with villagers on gold sooner and delaying these spearmen, like... Not even. I don't even think they need to be delayed, to be honest. You have more food than you need right now. So let's wait for that. Worth noting, you didn't get fresh foodstuffs. That's okay. If you were planning on getting it, sooner is generally better. And it's not too expensive either. Okay, so you can click up. Let's see what you get up to here. Right, of course, it will just be... So, you're going up with the culture wing. Pretty standard. Lurking in this stealth forest. I would love for you to have a scout here. I mean, you're actually hiding your own... Like, you can't see him because you're in that stealth forest. Where... Is that scout still alive? It is. There is, by the way, a hotkey where you can jump between scouts. I think it's Control-A. Unless I change that. But I would highly recommend keeping a scout with this army. This army can get jumped on. Like... 20 archers can just clean this whole thing up. Because obviously they'll counter the spearmen, they'll beat your archers, and then the ram doesn't finish, or you just have to head home with the ram. So this is as it stands, really risky because you lack an awful lot of information. Another ram going down. Okay, so obviously... okay, so we see he's trading. I'm not sure if you saw this. You did see his silver tree. That's my mistake, so you probably assumed he was trading. Now, this is not the best route for him. Like, this is a huge cost. So good job jumping on that. I mean, even with the silver tree half price, using stone and all that stuff, you know, he spent a ton of resources doing this, and they're only pulling in 28 gold each. So, in a way, I mean, maybe you're doing that. You can even just ignore the traders and go for the jugular here. Okay, so clean up his spearmen nicely. Looks like you... How many archers do you have? 11 against... Okay, so you're going for the traders. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine, but I think your more pressing issue is actually his military. So let's take a look. These guys definitely want to get forward as soon as they can. And this barracks, where's your archery range? Is it heading right out? Okay, you've now directed them right out to here, which is great. I think there may have been a stutter in archer production in that period. Which matters, right? Let me pause real quick here. Consider for a second that, like, you were briefly outnumbered 8-5. You know, if you had a few more archers, that definitely never would have happened. You would still be here, and you would probably be in his base with the Rams by now. So just keep in mind that even production of a few archers can have a significant effect on the game. I don't think this is a battle you want to be taking. I could be wrong, unless you have... Yeah, the next couple of archers can definitely help. But you're definitely pushing it. Definitely pushing it. He has this huge investment. Let's see. So you're not at veteran archer yet either. Let's take a look at... So you have clicked up to that, but it's currently behind 2 archers, and even then I think it's delayed a bunch into the Castle Age. So I see no reason to fight. Your opponent's in the Feudal Age. You can just wait. You could step in if you want and pull back out, but how about I put it this way? You made 2 battering rams while also going for what appeared to be a fast castle. Something has to give there, in that if your opponent is just all-out feudal, you definitely lose, because all-out feudal can potentially beat a fast castle, let alone a fast castle plus battering rams, which is even more expensive. And if you're trying to go for a fast castle and get those upgrades, you don't yet have those upgrades. So I think the plan here is a little bit looser than it could be. I'm guessing this camel archer is an accident, since its bonus comes in the military wing, which you don't have, so that is okay. You may have broken his back here already. Now, he did hit Castle Age, and you see Men-at-Arms coming forward. Just now hitting Veteran Archer, and Men-at-Arms for you coming forward. Okay, let's take a look at your Blacksmith upgrades. You have 1 attack, getting the ranged defense now. Okay. Okay. I mean, the archers are currently doing their job. If he switches heavily to Men-at-Arms, they will not do so. You know, even veteran archers just aren't very good against Men-at-Arms. Building 2 more battering rams. I mean, I like the aggression here. I think it's... it seems like you sense that he's on the back foot and want to punish him for that. Now, he did hit the Castle Age, so you do have to worry, like, you know, 8 Men-at-Arms busting out now could be a big problem for you. Okay, so how many ships did you end up with? 13? Yeah, I don't think you ever needed the second dock. I don't see what value it offered you. I think you could have done everything you did with 1 dock and had 75 extra wood. Nice job jumping on that, killing a villager. 4 rams is so much. He's gonna have a hard time dealing with this. I'm curious to watch. Okay, so you have. Okay, you have enough men-at-arms to win the day here. And these 4 rams are going to just absolutely plow through his building. So I think the game is probably over here unless your opponent has some kind of trick up his sleeve. In the end, I don't know how effective. Weirdly, I don't know how effective these archers were. They were effective against the early, those early battles against his archers. Yeah, where you had archer spearmen, but let's take a look. Does he have any armor upgrades? I don't think so. They're actually performing reasonably well because he has no armor upgrades. But like 1 or 2 would mean that these archers... Actually, 2 upgrades would half the damage your archers are doing, which would be pretty huge. Adding a Springle now. Cool. I like that. Using the Avicii bonus. So obviously this is going really well for you. I think this is a bit of a trap. I don't see what this composition is really doing for you. I don't mind some archers, but you have 24 archers right now. 27. And the early power spike wasn't there because you didn't get veteran archer for quite a while. So, again, as well as this is going... I think more men-at-arms would probably do it. Okay, so there goes the battle. Was I in... yeah, okay. Can I pause it now? Pause? Cool. All right, so just to go over this battle, sort of the narrative again, right? So you went for what appeared to be... So early dock, great. Not too much idle time until you hit about eight fishing ships, and then you basically cut production for quite a while. You added a second dock. Definitely didn't need the second dock. If you wanted to add... I thought when you're doing that, the plan was like... That was right around when you hit Feudal. I thought maybe you were going to use 2 docks to produce the... not the backlop. What is it? The Dow? Which makes sense to me. And that makes sense why the dock would be idle until Feudal. But it remained idle pretty much until Castle. And then when I checked back, eventually you had 5 more fishing ships. So you want to plan with those docks, but at least as Abbasid, it's not too bad. But either way, I actually don't see a reason why to have this dock on the other shore. Hopefully someone in the comments can correct me if you see a good reason there. You want to think of power spikes. So your army did the job, but barely, right? You were able to beat him, but only because he had a huge investment in trade cards, even with the Silver Tree. So without that investment, I think you lose those archer spearman battles. You were even down archers at one point, and were able to pull back up. Another thing is once you hit Castle Age, so use your power spikes. If you know you're going to hit Castle Age, wait. There's really no reason to push because you've already done some damage. You killed a couple trade carts. You destroyed a bunch of his army. No need to push your luck, and really not even any need for rams. If I'm making rams and clicking up to Castle Age, that's like a flex. That's not... If you think of it economically, I mentioned this earlier in the video, if your player is sticking Feudal, they should be able to destroy your army because you've invested 1,800 resources in hitting Castle Age that they didn't need to invest. That could be better upgrades, more archers, and so on. And then, of course, their villagers can just trash your rams. So Castle Age plus rams doesn't really add up for me. You want to do like Feudal Age, rams, and then if you see you're doing damage and you think you have space, you can go to Castle Age behind it. But both at the same time doesn't really work. And it worked in this case because he went for trade. And he also didn't even have a very good trade route. So it was here to only here. So like This is the actual distance. And then his trade carts actually had to go like around this way, so they were even more inefficient for that reason. So I think in a way, like, it's good you were able to take advantage of his trade carts, but he handicapped himself in going trade carts on this map with such a short trade route. And then lastly, once you hit Castle Age, you want to be thinking, okay, why did I hit Castle Age? Right? Men-at-Arms, great. You did add some Men-at-Arms, but I would hope that if you're adding Men-at-Arms, like, have another barracks or two, and then like triple produce Men-at-Arms. That is a big power spike that you got to Castle Age first, and your opponent can't deal with that. So there's really almost nothing in Feudal Age that can deal with Men-at-Arms. Certain civs can, like French with knights. But yeah, so go for something like Men-at-Arms. And then you want to be clicking your upgrades as soon as possible. And you want, like, that includes the veteran archer upgrade. So that was quite a bit delayed, and it was stuck behind other archers. So hold back, get those upgrades, take a look at when that thing's coming in, and then try to hit him when it comes in. And that power spike will kill him. Will absolutely just destroy his army, because regular archers cannot stand against veteran archers in relatively even numbers. So anyway, really great game. I like a lot of what I saw. I like the build order with the fishing ships. I like the pressure. I like that you didn't give him much time to breathe. So all those gaming instincts are really good. I think you can work on your power spikes, as well as your focus in terms of what you're going for. So are you going fast castle? Then go for fast castle and just try to hold off otherwise, right? Are you going aggression? Then go for the infantry and rams, and then only castle behind it when it's not in a non-fast castle manner. Okay, so special thanks to Polifen for letting me go through one of his replays. Hope you enjoyed this, buddy. And folks, if you enjoyed this, stay tuned for more casting and analysis daily. Thanks a lot. This has been Paragon RG, and I will catch you next time.